Hey guys, welcome back to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. And this is a video I've been trying to do for a couple of weeks. I just not have had the time to sit down and actually do it. We're not opening crystals, it's not gameplay, it's my thoughts on the top 10 champions to use in alliance quests. Um and what I'm gonna do, kind of how I broke it down, was I'm assuming that all champions I picked are duplicated, so their signature abilities are up. I took into account not only their own abilities, but the synergies they can provide other teams. To a minor degree, I took into account, is this person good against a certain boss on a certain map? So I kind of used that criteria. Um, so we're gonna get into it right now. Some of the champions you'll see me show are 4 stars, some are 3 stars. And that's just to kind of show you what their abilities are if there's a specific reason. So, in this case, my number 10 is Mr. Cyclops. And the main reason why is because he is the centerpiece now to this Cyclops and the new 90s Cyclops are centerpieces to the centerpieces to perfect block teams. There we go. This Cyclops being a centerpiece with Magneto and Black Bolt. The new Cyclops being a centerpiece with Storm. So that's the main reason I pick him. Also, he did become much better when they updated his abilities. They hit harder now. His armor break is fantastic. So that's why he's my number 10. He's very, very stable now. He's quick enough. He works well with others. So, that's why he's my number 10 right now. And I never thought I would say that about Cyclops. My number 9. Number 9. Where did you go? We're going to be using a 3-star of him. There we are. Is Starlord. Now, Starlord, to get out of the way, no, he does not have a good matchup against Venom. But he can overcome it a lot with his abilities. And the reason I say that is when you're fighting Venom or most of the sub-bosses, if you get hit outside of blocking or evading, if you actually get hit, you're typically going to be dead or pretty close to dead. So the amount of attack that Venom gets in addition to when he's fighting with a class bonus is kind of negligible. Now, in most cases, say Starlord, another tech's attack would decrease. However, this is where his signature ability comes in, why he's so good both in AQ and also in Realm of Legends. And that is the Tactician signature ability. So, I'm just going to read it. As blows are exchanged, Starlord familiarizes with opponents' techniques, increasing attacks by up to X%, and whatever that percentage is, in this case it's 42.8, with every 10 of his combo hits, and his block proficiency up for 20% with every 10 of theirs. The important part on this one is the increase in attack with the combo. Not so much the block proficiency, because as I said, when you get hit against most bosses, if they get a combo in on you, you're pretty close to dead, so it's not going to matter too much. But that increase in attack, and if you're good at either parrying or evading, can really, really start to add up, and it really will eliminate kind of the bad part of a class disadvantage for Starlord against Venom. In the case of map 3, he does have a class bonus against the Colossuses, which is a nice thing to see. And also his element gun can be very helpful as you read through it. So that is why Starlord is my number 9 pick for my top 10. Number 8, I have 2 of these on here. There are 2 from, well, 3 of them really. Number 8 for me is Colossus and Unstoppable Colossus. I'm not really going to show them right now because they're two different classes, but I'll show them. I have my 3-star classes. Sure, we'll just go with the regular classes. So, main point being, there's nothing crazy about him. His armor is fantastic. He survives through a lot. A main reason I say for AQ is, and this is along with unstoppable classes, is their bleed immunity. Very helpful against map 4s and ups where there are heal blocks and you happen to have double edge. He will still get that bonus, but he will not take that bleed damage off double edge. Same thing with Unstoppable Colossus. Now, if I had to pick between the two, obviously I would go ahead and pick Unstoppable Colossus. One, because he is a Mystic, so he will have a class bonus against Venom. B, he also has the Unstoppable ability, which can come in handy. When you use a special, he gets Unstoppable. It can definitely come in handy. But the main reason for picking Colossus is very strong, can take a hit, can survive through the paths of an AQ, and also the immunity to bleed and its interaction with the double edge mastery. And keeping in that vein, my number 7 is going to be the Vision. Not the original Vision, but the Vision. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at him. Again, the main reason for having him is the bleed immunity, and in this case also the poison immunity. Going forward, when our alliance is doing map 4, I'm going to be taking, or at least trying, the poison immune team. In this case, Captain Marvel, Ronan, the Vision, possibly Joe Fixit or the Hulk if I level them up. Because that poison immunity is very, very helpful with Liquid Courage. Liquid Courage is a great mastery. The detriment of it, the 1% health loss per second throughout a match, the Eternal Poison, doesn't change with the mastery. It just stays at 1% the whole time, whereas I think your attack increases by 10, then 20, then 30%. So currently, right now, I am maxed out on both Double Edge and Liquid Courage. So in the case of the Vision here, because he is immune to both, he's getting those advantages without the disadvantage. So he is essentially at a plus 50% of his attack, which is fantastic. And that's not even including like glass cannon. So those are very important, and very important as you go farther along. Liquid Courage can be a detriment to you on maps 4 and 5 if you're trying to fight the bosses because of that heal block. Also, another positive thing about him is the Power Burn and the Power Steal signature ability. It can keep bosses off their third special, regular fights against off their third special, and you can keep them somewhat under control, which allows you to not have to evade so much, maybe get in there for a few extra combos each time and shorten the match. So, Vision, my number 7. Number 6 would be, we're going to find him right here, SpiderMan. Now, SpiderMan doesn't have any of the immunities or anything like that, but he does hit relatively hard. His spider sense is fantastic, allowing you to both use the dexterity mastery for evasion and his built-in evasion with the spider sense. And his armor break is fantastic as well. So, there's really nothing added to him. He does have the class bonus against Juggernaut and Unstoppable Colossus, which actually has the added bonus of his armor break is really good against them because they do have pretty tough armor with them, and he's very fast. So once you get used to it, I've seen him used to great effect all across the board everywhere. So I came to the conclusion, you know what? He has so many positives to him, even without anything crazy, that he can be brought in and put to good use. And also, the fact that he interacts well with a lot of characters as far as synergies for teams. I mean, Captain America has him. Um, oh, who else has him? Doctor Strange has him. Those are two highlights of the Alliance quests. So he interacts well with other champions, which makes him my number 6. My number 5s, and this is doubled up again because they're essentially rinse and repeats, is Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. In this case, we're going to look at my Captain Marvel. So, first things first, poison immunity, fantastic with liquid courage. That's the positive. Unfortunately, Maps 4 and 5, she will have a disadvantage against sub-bosses, but it's overcome by this signature ability. This might be one of the best signature abilities out there. Energy absorption. Attacks increased by up to 65.7%, and this is only this one, based on stored power. In addition, blocking partially absorbs energy-based attacks, fueling Captain Marvel's power meter. It's great, guys. Typically with specials, unless there's a really, really big advantage to it, you're not popping them off in AQ most of the time. So that power bar can build up quite quickly and can stay there without hurting you. And the attack increase based on that, plus all the other ones, means that she is one of the hardest hitting characters in the game. In addition to that, she does true damage, which means she ignores all armor and resistances, so she gets in for even more. 10% chance of fury, increasing attack by 45% for 5 seconds. I mean, she is just a hard hitter. A very, very hard hitter. And that's why I put her up there. Again, it's an unfortunate thing where she has a class disadvantage against some of the bosses, but as long as you're using her effectively and Miss Marvel effectively, you can overcome that. And I just want to look at Miss Marvel real quick because I don't use her much. I don't have her as a 4-star. Make sure I'm looking at it right. Yep, energy absorption, fury, direct damage, poison immunity. Okay, so a rinse and repeat on there. So that is why those two blondes are the number 5 on my list. Number 4, another tech. And in this case, that tech's name is Ultron. Now, Ultron is very, very good. He might be definitely the best tech, but maybe you could make an argument for him being one of the best in the game. Poison immunity, bleed immunity, so that means he works well with liquid courage and double edge. Also, his regeneration is fantastic. He gets it twice, dropping below 50% and dropping below 25%. He gets evade every 7 seconds. Critical hits, 100% chance every 5 attacks. Bleed. It goes on and on. His blocking, his stun, he has everything in one package. He is very, very good. So that is, I don't really have to say much more, even with the class bonus against the Colossus in map 3. He is a very good champion. He will get you where you need if used effectively, and there's no way you should be disappointed in fighting with Ultron. And that is why he is my number 4. Number 3, I have her as a 4-star, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the 3-star, is Scarlett Witch. One of the best champions out there, and her signature ability is insane. Nullify is great, getting rid of those other abilities. She hits hard. She's part of an essential part of the perfect blocking with Doctor Strange's. And she's just fantastic. So, Veil of Fortune. Whenever a critical hit occurs for either player, there's a 67% or 66.7% chance that Scarlett Witch manipulates the outcome for her benefit. So, what that means is, as you look down, see if they list it at all. Okay, so they really don't. The nullify is there, and you can see things from, she can get regeneration, she can put weakness. I can't even think of all the other ones. Like, she can do all this, put all this different stuff on other champions and on herself to fit the situation. So she can just be really powerful, and if you get enough detrimental effects on a champion, there are masteries that take advantage of that. I haven't had a chance to try it out. They're in the defense ones. I can't remember the names, but can reduce their attack even that way. But she's fantastic when duped out. Unfortunately, my 4-star is not. Her second special just destroys people as far as power. So that is why Scarlet Witch is my number 3. Staying in that mystic realm, number 2. He had to be at the top of this list. He was my number 1, but then I found somebody else for that. Doctor Strange. Now, I'll say this. Map 3 and below, he's fantastic and gets you through a lot. He is part of a perfect block team of using Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch. His abilities for both, he can, even without that, can perfect block in his armor stage. He has a fury stage. His power meter continuously goes up without having to get hits in. His third special can be actually used to wreck people with regeneration. I used him to wreck Wolverine in Realm of Legends. He can gain health back. He is great. He has a class bonus against a Venom. Counterspell to get rid of all those nasty effects. He has the total package. The only thing that held him back for me is one of his biggest abilities is the ability to gain his health back in his third stage. And that ability is taken away against bosses in maps 4 and 5 with heal block. If you're doing that as a perfect block team, fine, great. But if you're doing them as a standalone, and especially if you had like Liquid Courage or anything like that, and it goes for every champion, it can be a pain. But really nullifying that healing is very hard to get over with Doctor Strange. It takes away one of his greatest assets because it allows you to make a mistake with it and get back into it. When it's not there, you cannot rectify that mistake. But overall, he's fantastic. He is my number 2 champion. You could put all of it out there that he could be the number 1. But in the case of my number 1, I whiff-waffled back and forth, but my number 1 is Mr. Captain America, both World War II and original. So, we'll start off with this. Captain America, the block efficiency is fantastic. You can get a perfect block with him with, in my case, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange. Now, neither of them will get it, but he will get the perfect block. But even without that, his block proficiency is insane. You're not taking a lot of damage. He has a lot of health. His bleed is very nice. If you hit him with that second special, like that bleed is powerful. The stun can be powerful. So that's really where his strength comes in. He has the class bonus against Juggernaut and Unstoppable Colossus in Further Mass Beyond 3. He hits hard, and I think the fact that he hits hard and can block really, and when he's just blocking is essentially a 0 block for the most part, is what really puts him over the top. And he gets to do it all the time, whereas Doctor Strange can do it in his first stage. So that is why Captain America is my number 1 pick for AQ players to have. Now, I definitely want to see comments about this. I want to see, who did I leave out? You know, what am I mistaken on? How could I miss this player? How could this person be in there? I want that interaction. It's fantastic. I like that sort of thing. So if you see anything, please leave me a comment. Drop it down there. I would love to hear it from you. I'd love to interact and talk with you. Guys, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try and do more videos like this. I'm not doing any of the Deadpool videos because honestly, those quests really didn't interest me. They weren't really all that challenging. I could go in there with like random teams and get there. So it wasn't a big challenge for me. I'm still doing them for the rewards, but it's not something I was really putting up out here. As far as crystals go, I'm not going to be doing them as much. I'm going to try and be saving crystals. When I have the availability, I'll probably do the special crystals, but that is in charge. The person in charge of the money around the household gets to tell me when I can do that, so it may be sparse and in between. But I will try at least do some every time a new crystal comes out if I can. Keep subscribing, guys. I know it's not much, but I got 35 subscribers. It's awesome. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Take care, enjoy the game, and we'll see you soon. Bye.